Social and Emotional Learning for First and Second Graders. Hi! Welcome back to Social and Emotional Learning for First and Second Graders. My name is Cassie Chang, and I am a Social and Emotional Learning Specialist with St. Lucie Public Schools. Before we get started with our new topic for today, we're going to start off with our emotional check-in. Remember, you can choose a number or a word. Check in with yourself and note how are you feeling. You can choose 1 for happy, 2 for calm, 3 for sad, and 4 for afraid, worried, or nervous. Before we get into our new topic for today, let's get started with our mindfulness practice. Our mindfulness activity for today is going to be practicing mindful touch. We will need a few objects. A stuffed animal or any toy will be just fine for this practice. Miles has a little bit of the sillies. We have senses. We have sight, we have sound, we have smell, we have taste, we have touch. So whenever we focus on just one of our senses, that helps us to practice mindfulness. Because mindfulness is about being present, it's about being focused, and it's about being on the here and the now. So we have a couple items that we're going to be exploring through mindful touch. So the first item we have is a ukulele. So Miles, can you tell me what you feel when you touch the ukulele? The texture.
Yeah, it's rock solid here, but this, it actually moves.
Very good.
And also, the strings have different textures, like these two are hard, and then these two are small.
Very good. So Miles, if you touch the stuffed lamb, what do you feel? How does the lamb feel?
It feels soft and furry.
The next item that we have is Play-Doh. So Miles, I'm going to give you some of this Play-Doh. And if you could tell me, what does that feel like?
It feels squishy, but at the same time hard.
When we practice mindful touch, the goal is to focus solely on the object and how it feels, focusing on things like the texture, the weight of the object, what it feels like in our hands. You can use mindful touch as a focusing practice. You can also use mindful touch as a calming strategy whenever you're feeling angry, mad, or upset and you need a tool to help you calm down. On our last episode, we talked about how words can be helpful or hurtful. We spent some time talking about the things that we say and do and how they can help or hurt other people. We also learned that they can help or hurt us because how we treat others can also affect how we feel about ourselves. So in short, when we do good, we feel good. Our new topic for today is titled Taking in the Good. Look closely at this picture. You will notice there is a number at the bottom of the picture. The girl sees the number as the number 6, but the boy sees the number as the number 9. How can two people look at the same picture and see something different? So the answer to that question is points of view. Our points of view can determine how we see a situation. Let's look at some of the things that will help us to know why we have a point of view that might be different than someone else's. Things that can contribute to our personal point of view can be our needs, our experiences, our goals, and our feelings. So recently, we all went through a really big change when we had to start practicing social distancing. And one of those big changes has been that now we have to learn at home instead of going to school. Think for a minute about how you felt when you first learned that you would be learning from home. Did you feel nervous, scared, worried, excited? When Layla learned that she would be learning from home, she felt sad. She was going to miss seeing her friends. As Layla started to learn from home more, her experiences started to change. So did her feelings. Layla started to realize that there were things she could do learning from home that she didn't do at school, such as activities with her brother. or riding her bike around the house whenever she needed a break from all of the learning she was doing. Layla was practicing taking in the good. What exactly does it mean to take in the good? It means that we have the chance to focus on some of the positive parts of a new experience instead of only looking at the negative parts of that experience. Taking in the good has the power to make you and the others around you happy. Once Layla started practicing taking in the good, she realized that learning from home could be fun too. As we learn and grow, and we have new experiences, taking in the good is a practice where we can stop and look at the positive. Going back to the example of social distancing, something that we're all experiencing right now, can you think of some of the positives that you have experienced? There are times that Miles is sad about learning from home because he does miss his friends and his teacher. Then Miles practices taking in the good and thinks about how fun it is to learn from home in his pajamas and listening to his music. When he does that, he starts to feel happy and thinks maybe there are some positive parts to learning from home. Now it's time to practice. Okay, it's time for us to look at a scenario and put all of our learning into practice. Sarah is an artist. She likes to draw and paint. She's not a very good dancer. But Sarah's sister and Sarah's brother, they really like to dance, and they've been spending a lot of time at home playing a dancing video game. Sarah feels left out because she's not joining in the game, mainly because she doesn't really feel comfortable dancing. She doesn't know how. So Sarah decides she's going to be brave. She wants to be part of the fun, so she decides to join in the game. When she plays the very first round, she doesn't do very well at all. Okay, let's stop and think. If you were Sarah, how might you see the negative or the bad in this situation? Maybe one of the bad or the negative that you came up with is that Sarah didn't do very well when she played the game for the first time. If you were Sarah, how might you take in the good in this situation? One of the things that you may have come up with, if Sarah were to stop and think and take in the good, would be that she got to have fun with her brother and her sister. She also decided to try something new and step outside of her comfort zone. And who knows, maybe if she keeps playing, she just might like playing the game as much as her brother and her sister do. How would choosing to focus on the positive contribute to the power to grow and stretch? I'm very curious to hear what you came up with. One of the things that you may have come up with is that by changing the way we look at a situation, it allows us to change our point of view and allows us to notice and experience more of the positives, which allows us to grow. Thank you so much for joining me today for episode 6 of our social and emotional learning lesson. I hope that you took away some very wonderful tools to add to your SEL toolbox. Let's take a moment and review what skills we learned. First, we learned a self-management strategy that can be a wonderful calming tool when we did our practice of mindful touch. Then, we learned a self-awareness strategy when we learned about how we can look at a new and challenging situation and decide to either focus on the negative or take in the good. And that by taking in the good and focusing on the positive, we can help to change our point of view and also change the way that we experience the situation. Remember, practice makes progress, so find some opportunities as we move forward to practice using this skill. Maybe there's a new chore that you have to do, or you're learning something new at school that just doesn't come very easy for you. Practice using these strategies when you have these situations come up. And remember, you are amazing just the way you are.